What is up, Blaine? How is it going? Hello, hello. What's everyone doing on this Wednesday night? Apparently perusing YouTube. Am I streaming to your TV? Am I just ginormous right now? What is this like? Can you see this extra few pixels on the side here? What the heck? Oh, just jumping into lives. Well, glad you're here. Big screen for me. I need to change this streaming setup so I can get a proper LUT in here. But my monitor recently shit the bed, I think. This is like my favorite monitor, but the power, like, you can run an MPF or an LPE6 on the back. I think the power just like is these little leads are not working now. I let someone borrow it for a few weeks and now here I am. Shill gang. What up, Cam? And this is like my favorite monitor, but now I don't know if I can even use it because this is the old style that doesn't have a power connector on it. But if I can get this working, then I could run a LUT through this, or I guess I could use Ecamm or OBS or something and get a LUT. But this is just what we're dealing with. Actually, I also need to replace this joystick. Also, from a rental, the joystick broke on it, and I'm kind of nervous to take the whole thing apart to replace the joystick. I have a new one, but if anyone's familiar with small HD internals, send help. What's up, Cam? We got Cam and Blaine. We're here to talk about anamorphics some more. Everyone hit the like. Let's get some more people in here. Everyone like the stream. Can I like my own stream? No. There we go. I was just hanging out in my school community and I had like an hour to kill. So I was like, you know what? We'll just go live. We'll just go live on YouTube. The spherical era is back. No, did you you've got some Typox now, right? Has that been fun on the old Alexa LF? Brother, my PC is low specs. I can't help you with your low spec PC. I've been rocking Mac for like 20 years. I think he's already got them. Yeah, he's got the thigh box. They're in. Do they vignette on that sensor? Maybe in the 4.3 mode, do they vignette like pretty hard? They vignette really bad on the Monstro. I mean, at least it's like this kind of like teal vignette, so that makes it better. Like the video. Oh, they cover it. Yeah. I mean, I assume so based on that sensor size, but I mean, mine cover too. It's not like a hard vignette, but there's no vignette on like a regular size full frame sensor. I guess it doesn't really happen in the middle, so you probably wouldn't even notice it in 4.3. Do you normally shoot RAW or do you shoot ProRes on that, Blaine? For like actual jobs. What up, Floyd? Give it a thumbs up. ProRes often, yeah. Mhm. Let's play around with this thing here. Oh boy, that's definitely not what we want it to look like. What's what are the vibes these days? I'm kind of trying to go more dirty on the frames, but oh, from India, what's up? We got Blaine moving to spherical. I'm actually rocking a Pro Mist on the live stream. It hasn't come out of the case in like 2 years. Team Dirty of the frame. What's up? What's up? What's up, everyone? Everyone, if you haven't joined my school community yet, there is a link in the description. You know what? I'll drop one here too. If you want to hang out more, we've been building it up over there. I'm in there like all day, like chatting and adding stuff. So if you want like kind of exclusive access, you should jump in there. It's free. Any thoughts on Lens Node as a plugin? Have you messed with it? I have messed with it. I do have it. Um, I haven't found a reason to use it yet, but I think where it could be interesting would be on footage that maybe if you needed to use from like an iPhone or a GoPro or something that you didn't have like good control over or from like a B cam, and you just want to like add a look to it to try to just kind of offset the inherent look of it, then that could be really good. Usually I'm working with the lenses I want to work with. So like I haven't had a good reason to like dive into it yet. Um, but I feel like there'll be something coming up at some point. I'll be like, okay, lens node makes sense to be using. Um, I don't think I'm going to go to NAB. No, I actually haven't been invited really by anyone this year. Usually I get invited by brands, but I haven't been invited this year. Should I go? I know Blaine, didn't you go last year? Is it a good hang? I don't really want to just be, in Gearland. I don't want to just be like just sucked into the gear stuff. So I don't know, but it could be fun to see people. Are you going this year, Blaine? I want to get in those B&H back room. I want to have some drinks with the B&H people. Shoot. You guys getting wild in Vegas. I don't know. I can't drink anymore. My birthday was a couple days ago, and I had a couple beers, and I felt terrible. So like, I think it's like I'm officially tapped out on drinking. Like I only drink like once every few months, and I had a couple, and it was like the worst decision I've ever made. My body can't handle it anymore. Yeah, Jordan, I think using it on yeah, footage that you don't have control over the lens makes a lot more sense. What's up for everyone that's jumping in? Check out the school community if you haven't already. Still recovering from a rap party last weekend. Yeah, I'm sure those can get pretty wild too. When I first started, man, like this ESPN job that I did back in my 20s, and we were shooting like 16-hour days. We would wrap at like 12 at night, and then the director and me and the other like DP, because it was like 2 units of DPs, and we would go out and still drink, and then like we also had a that was back like when readers were really slow, so we had like firewire readers for red cameras, and we didn't have DITs, and we would have to dump footage all night. So like dump footage for like 2 hours, set an alarm, try to sleep, and then when that like the alarm went off, wake up, swap out the cards, and then tried to ingest more footage into the computer. It was a time. It was a wild time. Do you use or thinking about using AI in your work? Um, I don't like have any real intentions to be using it in my work. What there is, okay, like 2 years ago, I wrote this feature film, and it's all based around drift cars. And the holdup on making that film, budget wise, it's not like the budget needs to be that big, but there is a car, a very specific car that I want in it. I've written in it, and it's like kind of the main thing of the film. Now, to get that car in a drift condition with the right suspension and wheels and all of the stuff would be it's like an impossible thing. There's like one in the US that can drift, and there's like a couple in Australia or something. So getting that would be really hard. And so I've been playing around with shooting drift cars because I have access to some other drift cars. They're just not the same one. And then reskinning that drift car with AI. And I've done the tests and it seems to be working really well. Now, I don't want to use AI to like make stuff. I would only be using it as a VFX tool. So like my VFX guy, he could do it probably already, but the AI just like speeds up that process. And for making a low budget indie film that's not going to make millions of dollars, it's not going to put anyone out of work. I'm considering, I'm exploring the idea, but otherwise, like AI is like completely, I don't have any other use for it. Like I wouldn't make real stuff with AI. It would just be as a visual effects tool specifically. And I'm not doing that sort of stuff very often. So, but I mentioned this on some other live streams, but there was just a shoot I did recently where it was really like the client took my shot. Like I shot an LED wall, I filmed it, like I lit it, and I might have handheld camera movement, and they ingested that and then like turned that into they use that as a reference point for AI and made a new clip with a different person in it because of some reasons with the actor, and that was weird. So it was kind of like I shot the clip, but then AI recreated my clip, and people couldn't tell the difference, and that was really strange. And I have no control over that. So yeah, using like Adobe podcast software, that's a totally different thing. I use like, yeah, using it's a tool then, I use it noise reduction on every one of my YouTube videos, of course. Yeah, Blaine. Yeah, it was weird. So like when I first watched the spot, it didn't like I did like for a split second I was like, is that my shot? Because it was all it all looked the same. It was just like the back of this person's head, it was like a little bit different hair. It was really strange. But AI as a tool, sure, but just like pure generation, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I mean, people want to shoot stuff. Like I got into this to shoot stuff, to be on set, to make stuff. So like AI doesn't really make sense, right? So, but it's not going anywhere. Cam has talked about this a lot too. Blaine, you're a top fan in here. These guys with their crowns. Do I think cinema has bounced back? I do think there has definitely been a reaction to the years before, and we're getting a bunch of more like small budget movies, actual dramas happening, um, sort of originals. A lot of them are like spin-offs of IP, but they're like basically originals. And I definitely the atmosphere has changed a lot, and that is really exciting. We'll see what comes of it. Structurally, like movies still feel different, but at least we're getting that big like indie wave. Like I'm sure A24 is just like crushing it now. Using AI for precise and complicated client stuff is suicide anyways. Yeah, I mean it's like pretty much impossible to do specific stuff with AI. Now they're getting better, but it's fragmented. So, uh oh, Blaine, you just became number two. What's how do you deal with external validation of your work? My Instagram engagement has fallen off a cliff, and I find myself thinking it's because my work or people don't think it's good. A lot of that comes down to the algorithms now. So all the algorithms have switched, and they don't like. I don't haven't seen your work. I don't know your situation, but like it it all stems from that now because everything is not built around your page and your users seeing it. So, I've got, I don't know, 32,000 followers on my Instagram, but only like, I don't know, 1,000 or a couple thousand even see my posts, right? Because the algorithm is just trying to spit out the best content per person now. So like whatever you're into, it's going to feed you that. It's not going to feed you who you follow anymore. So even in your area and the people that would normally be seeing your content, they're just not going to see it like it used to be. So, I mean, that is really unfortunate. I'm sure it has nothing to do directly with your work. Also, everything has this like a weird curve of like your hype, getting a lot of hype when you first start or you're first posting, and people notice you, and then that can go away. Um, it's kind of the game right now. Claude. Yeah, I think it's like the Claude bot thing. People are hosting free AI on their own computers rather than like using them off server. That's all I know. I see it in my YouTube feed a lot too. What is planned for the future of your channel? Whew, it's a big question right now. I'm doing a lot of changes on the channel. The channel is going to be much more focused on people that are trying to move from videographer to cinematographer and what comes with that. So it's going to be a lot more advice driven and less gear driven. And I will still do, I still like every once in a while I want to play with the camera, play with some lenses. So there will be some of that. And then most of my content now will be essentially like almost uncut strings of thought, long form content, less editing, less production. There'll be behind the scenes. I've got like 3 short films I'm trying to make this year, maybe another feature film. So like there'll still be some behind the scenes stuff. A lot of live streams will be happening. Probably some of them will be exclusive to my school community. So you can jump in there if you want to see some of those and just chat more, jump in my school community. I'm going to go all in on my school community this year. I want to talk to people. I want to hang out with people. I want to see what people are like actually going through. So when you like make YouTube videos, you're kind of talking to the void. You aren't getting real feedback. All you really get is like the loudest people in the comments. And really thousands of people are just like viewing my stuff and have never said anything to me ever. And so the school community is like what I'm really going hard on because we can actually chat and I can figure out like where people are at and what they need help with. And then I can help with it. So at some point, the school community will be like a paid community. Maybe not. I don't really know. I don't know what's going on, but I want to make it sustainable. I'm also kind of building this like coaching program for videographers looking to jump up to cinematographers. So there'll be like a 90-day program you can go through. I've got a lot of new things like in the works, and it's going to look a lot different than it used to, but I'm excited to try something new and just connect with people. So I'm from the UK. I've noticed a huge change in the industry. Most agencies are now after one-man band do-it-all creators rather than traditional DPs with full crew. Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna record this real quick. Has anyone else's since the update on Mac OS, they've just like the search function doesn't bring up apps anymore? This is ridiculous. Okay. I'm rolling. I have no idea. Okay. Yeah, so I think this is like the change of industry. I think everyone's like afraid of AI changing the industry, and it will probably. But I think the current thing that is changing is because of social content and because of pricing. I think you're going to see. Oh, great! It's not even recording the right audio. You're going to see more of that. So you kind of have to decide if you want to be a one-person shooter agency style, like where you're like the editor, you're the shooter. You are helping with concepting and all that stuff, or do you like want to be a DP like just because of a lifestyle choice? You just want to be a DP. That's just like what you want to do, and you're just like going to fill a role on set. Um, you kind of have to make that decision. I really wanted to record that. You have to kind of make that decision yourself and then commit to it. And you can do it. You can position yourself. You just have to go all in on that decision. But yeah, you're definitely seeing a lot more of that. The FX3 trend, just like FX6s everywhere. Like, um, yeah. And not that you couldn't be a DP with an FX3, but you are starting to see a lot more of that because, you know, video so democratized now. It's a different thing, but try to do what you want to do and position yourself to do that. And that's like a big thing that I'm going to do in my coaching. I kind of have this whole plan of helping people get to that position. Because I mean, even when I started, I had to go through that, right? Like when I was 20, early on, I had to shoot weddings, right? But after like 4 weddings, I was like, no, this is not the move. Like, oh, it's but I'm making money, I'm shooting, I've got a camera, I'm getting making no. The move was like, no, I want to be fill the role as a DP on set. And so I had to commit. I had to go all in. I was poor for a little bit, but I positioned myself there really, really hard. And then that sticks. It's just like you have to have clarity with who you are and what you're trying to do. But most of the jobs I do still have a crew. I mean, I haven't like done a job that was like that in forever. I always have a camera assistant. I always have a gaffer. At least at the very minimum, I'm always having that stuff, and I have my own grip van, and so that helps because I can bring that and add that to the package. Curious to get your opinion. Have you seen productions integrate smaller body cameras more often? Only asking me because I'm trying to figure out a camera package. So you could go that route. I pressure. I put my camera on every job I do. Now, when I had the Komodo and I had the Monstro, there were times that maybe the Komodo needs to come off for a certain type of thing. But I still always try to push my Monstro because it's not like it was that much money. Like compared to like an FX6 package and the Monstro, the difference isn't very big. So like my rental fee isn't much different. Like maybe it's $100 more, $150 more, depending on how you want to do it. So you might as well have the tool that you want to have on set. But yeah, I mean, the FX3 thing is crazy. No, and it's no other camera. Like I'm never seeing anyone not using an FX3. They're either using a Venice, a Red, an Alexa, or an FX3 or an FX6, I suppose. But like, I never see any of those other cameras on set. If they are, it's because of just like these 1-person agencies or 2-person agencies that have those. I wanted to make that transition from videographer to DP, but I'm having so much success being flexible and shooting a variety of projects as a one-man band, and I'm now out working some DPs. So yeah, so this is what I was saying about like, what do you want to do? So you might be out working, but you can position yourself differently. So like being a DP commands a certain amount of money and you get the crew. So you're in a different market. So you being a 1-person shooter, maybe you make, I don't know what you make, a certain day rate or package rate, but you have to do the editing maybe, or maybe you're just doing the shooting, but you don't have any help. So you're wore out all day, because you're the one holding the camera and doing everything. And you have room for error. You have less creative influence because you can't be using lights, shaping the image, owning the image. If you have the gaffer and an AC and a dolly and all this stuff, right? Like if you have that support, you're creative and the budget is probably higher, right? Now it's not always true, but that can happen. You can go the other way too, but then you have to do everything, and that's fine. If that's what you're into, then yeah, do it. There's even times where you can maybe make more money, but it's just a different lifestyle, and you have to market yourself differently. I've been watching your channel from time to time for the past few years, and it has helped me a lot to add cinematography to my 3D work. That's what's up. Yep, because everything would still apply to the 3D work. So thank you for the tips. Heck yeah. in different markets too. Some productions here talk me down on price just for me and FX6, let alone me asking for a gaffer. I keep, yeah. And so that's one of those things, once again, what do you want to do? So you could be like, all right, fine. I'll bring my FX6 for free if you can give me a gaffer. Or can you invest in some lights and then you bring on a gaffer, or even like, I don't know, just a second hand that's just cheap that can move those lights around for you, and you can at least try to shape the image, because then you get more of that body of work where it's clearly lit, it's clearly composed, it's clearly intentional, and you start showing that off, and that'll start moving you into getting those DP only jobs. Ha, do I have a NAS? No. I have a bunch of SSDs, and then I delete a bunch of shit if I need to get clear one. And if not, I will back up everything to like a 14 terabyte spinning disk drive. Um, I'm cheap and didn't want to do it. Someone offered to send me one, but I didn't want to make a video about an ass. That was just that's not my thing. So I'm shooting a short documentary in 2 weeks. 5 days shoot, 4 days I'll be by myself with someone filming BTS. Then 5 days is the big interview. I'll have a gaffer, second cam op, PA, PTS. See, that's sick. If you're doing doc work and you get all that, that's a great spot. So you're not doing the big interview first? That's a bummer. You really want to do that interview first so you can know what to shoot for B-roll to go along with the interview to really like pull that all together. Still want to be a DP. I've just noticed a huge shift in the UK, and the DP jobs are being taken by the top percentage of DPs. Sure. I mean, I don't know. There's always mid-level companies that need commercial work. I mean, even a $10,000 job production budget could afford a DP and a gaffer and an AC and a couple, the lights and stuff. Yeah, scheduling. Yeah, that sucks. But that's the formula, is getting that interview first and then planning the B-roll after. Yeah, those 14 terabytes. I got this one here. I got like 4 of these, but this one is like, I don't even know. The WD one, Best Buy, $220, but it's 14 terabytes. I don't know. I don't really have like any client footage really or anything that I need to hold on to. I just have YouTube videos, and it's not that big of a deal. Amaran lights, so cheap. Yeah, didn't they like announce another one today? We got like 600 watts for very inexpensive. That's great. So even better, if you're even in that FX6 territory and you're trying to move into more DP stuff, get some of those cheap lights, add them to your kit, show up, and just try to set those expectations. Well, like, give me a second to set up a light. Like, just like try to start doing that, Do you foresee a surge in short films becoming more popular within the industry since shorter no, maybe verticals, maybe vertical shorts. I think there's a big opportunity for indie films in the vertical space. And I know that sounds like some anti-cinema thing to say, but I think breaking up little 1-minute segments of stuff and putting it on social, something like that could go viral if positioned right. And then a lot of people could see your short. Versus throwing it on YouTube, the algorithm not working, and then 100 people watching it. Because these vertical platforms have a much bigger reach. So I don't know. Might be something there. Ooh, Thypox or DZO Vespid 2s. Tricky. The Thypox have more of a look. So if you want, and they lens breathe really bad. So if you want that look, if you want the bokeh to just give you more, and if you want them all to be that basically the same, they're not the same weight, but they're all the same size. Well, roughly. They're all under 500 grams or whatever. So if you want them a little bit lighter, a little bit smaller, T15, I love them. I've used them on like the last 15 shoots. Um, dig the thigh pox a lot. I haven't used the Vespa 2s yet, but they look nice. They look kind of like in between the Arls. Um, so cleaner. I think the Vespas are more expensive too. So keep that in mind. Glyph HHDs, and they are sick. Yeah, the glyphs are fast. Wait, HHDs, not the like the M.2 drives? Thoughts on the Paramount Warner deal? What do we even know? What's really going to go down there? I don't know. I mean, any of them combining is probably not the greatest thing, but we're just little ants compared to all that stuff. But I know it's going to halt some productions, which is going to be a bummer. So stuff that was supposed to come out and was in motion, it's going to like shake up the industry in that way. So my go-to filter stack. I mean, lately I've only been rocking the Nisi NDs, but I think this year we're going to bring back the filters. I've got these. Well, I took them off my desk, but I've got some format, like a soft gold and a soft silver. I've got the Pro Mist. I think I'm going to use my Canon FDs a lot more this year and do some filters again. How many spotlights do you like to have on set? Like the spotlight mounts? I've got one. I've got two. I've got like the small one and the big one. And then sometimes even with my 1200, I kind of want to shape that actually often. So I've got the Fresnel for that, but I think I need to get the barn doors. So I always have a couple Fresnels and a couple spotlights. I'm usually using like one a setup if I even use one. Yeah, verticals. I just think verticals are like popping off, and their business model is really interesting. And I think it's interesting. It'd be an interesting landscape for indie filmmakers who try to get into, because making money on indie films is really hard. But if you could upload 5 minutes of the like the first 4 as episodes of your film, and then kind of use that as a funnel to get people to rent, or even maybe you make an app that's just for short films. Maybe someone will do that. Or I mean, for indie features, then people will buy into that, and you can make a lot more money, which would be good and more sustainable for indie filmmakers. So outside of that, shorts are just wild. I mean, I would shoot one if someone asked me just to try it out, but shooting a feature is already so hard. Shorts, those like verticals, would be just like that. Did I say verticals? Have you tried the Condor Blue filter? Was it called the Opaline? So yeah, I've got the Opalines too. Back when Element, the Element combined forces with Condor Blue, but I tried out the Opalines first. So yeah, I've got all the Opalines. I've got like 5 different versions of those. Do you like the MCs? I use an MC often. Yeah, for just like little pops here and there. And then a B7C. I always have B7Cs around. What would you rank as the top 5 pieces of equipment you'd want in every shoot? Besides camera and lens, tripod, obvious ones. I pretty much have a 720B, an umbrella, an 8x8 quarter grid on every shoot. I'm pretty much always using a big 8x8 key. I'm making a book light. And then the tube lights are one of my favorite lights of all times. So any tube lights, I use the Nanlite Pavo tubes. I like a light mat a lot. I use a light mat a lot. But yeah, if I was just getting started, I'd buy a 700 watt or 600 watt light for sure. And then I have been using my 1200 watt a lot because I have it. So I've been using it a lot more. Having bigger lights just makes your life easier because you can back them up further. You can shoot them through a window, and you can always have output to compete with the sun. It wasn't something that like you don't always need it, but if you have it, it just speeds up the workflow. It's like shooting on Alexa. You don't need an Alexa, but it sure does make the workflow faster and easier. It's a little bit of a cheat code. You think someone should try to upload vertical shorts on a short that was already made and crop it or don't crop? I think people should start experimenting with that. Yes. Crop it. You could do a pan and scan on the crop. Like you could move it around if you need to. I do think it would be better if it was shot for vertical, for sure. And I do think it would be better ultimately if you own what it is. So if you own that it's a vertical, you own that it's going to be broken up into pieces. So I would actually write the script that way. It's one thing to try to reformat something, but I would try to do it all with intention, and you'd have a much, much better result. But yeah, I think someone should try it. I mean, I might even try it. I don't know. Might get crazy. It's instant gratification too. People will just like watch it. I'm still waiting to get into festivals to see if I even get into festivals for my last short, and that's just it's a drag. Which new tripod and fluid head do you recommend for Pixis Komodo size camera? For sure, the Sure, 75 millimeter. They sent that to me. I don't love that it's not a single stage legs, like it is, or it doesn't have like the levers on it, but I'm actually it holds like 35 pounds. It works with my Monstro great. I've been using it a lot, and it works really, really well, and it's not that expensive. I would definitely go that direction. Yeah, I think if you're going to start out, you can start out with like some 200 watt lights, like, but you want like 2 or 3 of them, or you want to buy like one 700 watt and then try to work around that. Yeah, you get it. Waiting on festivals sucks. Why do festivals at all? I don't know. It's I think of a lot of things like business now in the way that it's not that you're trying to get eyeballs, you're trying to get qualified eyeballs, right? So if you're at a festival, everyone there is there to watch films. Everyone is there to participate in the film experience. Maybe a good chunk of them are there because they're actually looking for talent. Uploading something to YouTube, even if the film got 1 million views, 99% of those are not qualified views. So they're not going to help your career. The view numbers might help your career if someone sees that you're able to acquire that much attention. But outside of that, it's just a vanity number. So you want qualified views. And so being in a festival can give you that. But the whole festival process is totally silly. Judges are judging for so many different reasons. It's a waste of money is what I would say. I wish it was just free submission. If you got in, then you pay or something like that. But that's how they make their money. If I ever do vertical films, I might just do 4:3. Could be that 4:3 is a really good idea. Fort Smith International Film Festival posted a code for free entry recently. Yeah, there's a bunch of those, but it makes you wonder why they're doing free entries. A friend of mine just bought a Gemini. Man, that generation of red cameras just hits different. I just love the DSM-C2 cameras. I love them. And there are some steal of a deals right now. You can get an entire Monstro kit for 8K or 7,500 or something on cinemacameras.com. 10 hours on the body. It comes with like a dovetail, rails, cards, top monitor. I mean, it's less than what I paid for mine, and it has less hours. I was like, do I just buy another Monstro? Yeah, I would get a Dragon X or a Monstro, maybe a Scarlet. Geminis are really cool, but they don't have the same thing going on. But I am trying to find a gold mount for mine for the IO module. So if anyone has a lead, let me know. Yeah, festivals are money driven for sure. You got to be careful. Film Freeway is so cool because you can upload your short to festivals, like 1,000 of them. But that's the thing, there's 1,000 of them, so they're going to take your money, and a lot of them are fake, and so that's also it's kind of predatory. What are some of your favorite ways of using tube lights when lighting a scene? You should really check out. I made a video here. I'll just find it for you. I made a video. I just shot a feature film last year, and I have a huge breakdown on how I use the tube lights on that. And I'm sure it didn't come across your feed because of the algorithm. So I'm going to drop it here in the stream, in the chat. There you go. Would you say the Raptor XC is the best camera for the money we've seen in a long time? Feels like a true Hollywood camera. I would have one. I would totally buy one if I didn't already have the Monstro. Yeah, I think for the price, it beats pretty much everything. You don't need it, but it's sick. It's a really good price. Yeah, I think you weren't in here, Colin, when we were talking about AI for effects. I was talking about how I have a feature film that I'm thinking about using AI to replace the cars in it, but only as a VFX, like only for that reason. Like I wouldn't use AI for pretty much any other reason. Just to speed it up if you don't have a team and you're shooting an indie thing. Now, if Disney is using AI for VFX, that's just silly. There's no craft anymore. But for us, we don't have any money. That's different. So you are ahead of me in the filmmaking career. I think you, me, next person should be trying to make indie features and self-distribute. Yeah, I think self-distributing in theaters is a tricky thing. I'm much more about the model of audience to rentals. I think that if you want to actually make your money back or make it sustainable, that's how you're gonna have to start. The Markiplier thing is like a total lottery situation, and I think it's great that it happened. I think it's great for the industry, but I think people are like now being like, look at what you can do. And it's like, well, hold on. He had an army of people emailing theaters. So how do you feel about newer lights? I've been using them and haven't had a problem. I don't know. I bet they're really plasticky and they probably have bad color accuracy and they will probably, the fan will probably break at some point. So be careful with those newer lights. Some rappers, yeah. So people can blow up for sure. Anyone can do it, but if you don't have the pipeline built to make that actually do something, if you're not ready for it, so like the Markiplier thing, he's been on YouTube for like 10 years and he was trying to get the movie made for like 6 years and he's been telling people about it for that long. So like the legwork that went into that, it's almost like it's not an overnight success story at all. It's like a 10-year or 5-year success story. And people need to be aware of that. I loved your video on recolor grading movie trailers. It hurts to see how bad. Yeah, man, I got lit up in those comments. People were not into that, but it was just a personal taste thing. Like I wish things were colored differently, and so I recolored them. Thanks for the love on that. I've been using Home Depot light bulbs for non-RGB lighting. It's been working fantastically. Yeah, yeah, because you're getting actual tungsten lights. You can totally use those. I mean, that's like Roger Deakins would use Home Depot lighting because it's actually more true if you're using tungsten, not LEDs. But I'm sure the LEDs are fine. Hey, I mean, whatever works. I think YouTube distribution is looking more and more promising for ideas to get views on your movie. Yeah, I mean, it's starting to happen, but it's kind of you gotta kind of have to like, do you make your movie have a clickbait? Do you make your movie have like a title that's like a really long sentence? Like these things are so strange. Tubi is basically YouTube, but people are on there just to watch movies. And so Tubi is almost the same way. I use newer mini tubes and mini cubes a lot. Yeah, they're cheaper. Yeah, I think If you're just trying to make stuff and you need to buy something cheaper, do it. If you're not like using it on sets where you're getting paid thousands of dollars to be there and it's just for like your own thing, then yeah, forget NAB, come to Australia. Okay. I love that. I got some quite a few Australians in my school community. Oh yeah, let's shout out the school community again while everyone's here. If you guys want to chat more, jump over there and we can chat on the daily. It's free, so it's not like I'm trying to get you to buy anything. Oh no, my thumbnail on this live is just like me looking down. Yeah, the school community is cool though, and I'll be adding and changing that a bunch. I'm going all in on it this year. So I mean, what's up with NAB? What goes down there? Is it to hang out and not to look at gear? Like, because I don't really want to look at gear. Corinne Sheldon's movie Beatdown. I don't know if this Beatdown. A boxing dramedy. 2012. Oh, Corinne Sheldon. Yeah, yeah, yeah. He just uploaded it on his channel. Huh. What's the view count? 10,000 views. That sucks. Not saying he sucks because of that, but that's like you want that to go. It's only been out a couple months though. But if it was on one of those like Movie Central channels, the ones that are just where people go just to watch movies, it would probably get a lot more views. It's basically just cine gear. Yeah, I know. So I don't know. I don't know the appeal, but I'm sure it's just to hang out. Which movie should win Best Picture or Cinematography? What's nominated? And how do you even like gauge that sort of thing anymore? Okay, let's see. Where are we at? Where are we at? Complete list of the Academy. No. 2026. Okay, let me jump in here. Sinners, Train Dreams, One Battle After Another, Frankenstein, Marty Supreme. So just 5? My guess is that Sinners will win, but I didn't love all of the cinematography. I didn't like the inconsistency. I didn't like the cornfield stuff. I'm sure there was a reason for everything. Um, I didn't love some of the flashed film. One Battle After Another looks great. I hated how Frankenstein looked. Marty Supreme looked great. Train Dreams probably had the most style and was shot with natural light. And how they pulled that off in such a good way was pretty awesome. And I think it would be good for Hollywood in some ways if Train Dreams won for best cinematography. I think that would be a cool thing. I think One Battle Another After Another should win best picture though. Shot in the Burano. I think it was shot on Alexa, but Train Dreams. Pretty sure it was shot on Alexa 35. Komodo for like the tree shot or whatever. See, Netflix did like a whole behind the mm, yeah, that probably likes 35. Yeah, I liked like the first 2/3 of Sinners, and then it kind of lost me, or like first half. But I love that he's out there like making stuff, and it's not Marvel. Like I love what it's all about, and that's usually how the Oscars kind of work. It's usually based on more of what's around the project than just the project. So, but yeah, Train Dreams had some cool stuff in it. It's looking like Alexa 35. I could have just looked it up on IMDb, but of course. Alexa 35, Kawa lenses, super speeds, which I love super speeds. Those are like my favorite lenses. So there you go. Yeah, I mean, I think he was using like horror obviously as like a metaphor, and it like kind of turned at the midpoint. But Kyle, Laura won't let me buy a new camera. Spencer, no side on the Mastro deal. I just sent Kyle that like $7,500 Monstro. What a good deal! Dang it! Should I just buy that and then we'll have one brain that's like naked? It's essentially a Komodo, but it's full frame. And then we put this back on it, just the little back, and then we don't have to like have a battery on it. And I could even get a little 4-inch monitor for it. Pixis 12K. I'm shipping the Pixis 12K back tomorrow. I think it's a good purchase though for a lot of people. Like I would recommend that. Yeah, the chase scene in One Battle After Another is, I think, is gonna like go down in history. Like it's like a historic scene, and we haven't had something like that in like 20 years. So that's pretty sick. I'm stoked. Yeah, get the 12K. What lenses are you gonna put on the 12K? And how are you gonna use it? Hopefully you don't have the banding. You'll have to send that in if you get one of those units like I did. Jump in the school community, everyone, if you want to chat some more. I can't be live all the time. Although I was thinking about that. Just like going live every day. Like, why not? But yeah, jump in the school community. Tell us why you're in there. Tell us where you're at in your career. We're really trying to figure out like what people are doing because the landscape is so big. I dropped a video in there of my van package. Um, and you'll get like early YouTube videos in there. You can find other people in your area on the map. I had 3 Arls, Colin, but I sold them. My Sigma 28 to 45, I'll get the post recall version. Yeah, nice. I wonder if you can figure out what serial numbers they are to do that. I'm sure they'll, I mean, because like I got mine from B&H just what, a month ago, and it was still one of those units. So oh nice. Okay. The Arls are great. They're just big, and I had 3. And I could have bought a couple more, but I already had the full set of thigh pocks. I liked how small they were. I knew I was going to use them more, and so I just ended up getting rid of the Arls. It would have been great to keep all of them, but like, I just I don't need to have so many lenses. All right, we got a school sign up. What movie should I watch tonight? You should watch Rental Family. For best film emulation, what do you recommend? Depends what you mean by film emulate. Like, what are you actually looking to get? Because you're going to find hundreds of one-click power grades. This is about the video I put up today of film emulation stuff. Probably get Blaine's, get F1 if you want like a moody film emulation. But there's also a lot you can do natively inside of Resolve. I'll drop today's video for you. But like film emulation is a kind of confusing topic because it's like, do you want it to look like what film can look like just natively? Or do you want film to look like a movie from the 90s? Or do you want film to look like a movie from the 80s? Or do you want it to look like a Nolan film? Because those are all vastly different processing pipelines. Sorry, it just kind of bothers me. The film look. Lumix Magic LUT because I'm too lazy to color grade it. You don't have to color grade if you just get the right shooting LUT. Yeah, go check out that video. I made this like an extremely simple color video today because people were still asking me about that. And I was surprised based on the level of stuff that's online that people don't have like this really simple workflow of getting nice color and for free as long as you have Resolve. Oh, I need to watch Singers. That's a really cool, like, most of those people were just singers and not actors. Very fascinating. I need to watch that. It's like on Netflix or something, right? I should put that on the list. Just saw Crime 101 in theaters. Terrible title, but excellent movie. Yeah, the trailers for Crime 101 were all over the place. It's like, we don't know how to market this movie. And it made me really nervous. And so I hadn't watched it yet. But the IMDb score was high. Okay. Sick. I wanted to check it out. So, yeah. No, yeah, I guess you could just watch one battle after another. It's almost like a 3-hour movie, though. I need to get off here pretty soon. I've got to collect a few more calories before I go to sleep. Camera nerds don't typically talk about new technology on projectors differently than TV screens. Projectors work by reflecting the light off the screen, and that is nicer to the eye. Sure. Do you want to see your stuff projected sometimes? I assume that there are interesting new offerings. Yeah, I mean, it could be interesting. I definitely like seeing myself on big screens. Like I've seen that a couple times, and that is a wild experience. It makes you really feel something when you're like, wow, all these people. It's one thing for like everyone to watch it on YouTube, but like to be in a room with people watching your stuff on a big screen is in kind of an incredible experience. The Cabinet of Dr. Calgary. All right, y'all. I'm going to cut this little short here. I'm going to jump off. If you want to keep chatting, sign up for my school community. It's free to sign up and hang out. So here, I'll drop another link here. Jump over there. We've already got a lot going on in the community. If you have any like cinematography questions or career questions, I would love to help you and answer those there. School, yeah, SKOOL. I'm trying to get to 100 members. That's my goal. So help me out. We're at 84 members. So there's also footage downloads in there. I'm just gonna be adding stuff to this at all times. So jump in, say hi, introduce yourself, tell us where you're at in your career. But I'm gonna jump off here. I hope everyone has a good night. we'll see you I'll probably jump on another live stream here in the next couple of days. So we'll see you soon. Peace.